10 bad daily habits that are ruining your heart. Did you know that every 34 seconds, someone in the United States dies from a cardiovascular disease? The heart, an essential organ, pumps blood throughout our body, delivering oxygen and nutrients to tissues and removing carbon dioxide and waste. However, amidst the hustle and bustle of daily life, we often overlook the impact of our habits on this vital organ. From sedentary lifestyles to poor dietary choices, certain daily habits may take a toll on the heart, increasing the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. But what are these factors that negatively impact our heart health? In today's video, we will delve deeper into 10 daily habits that may put our hearts at risk without us even realizing it. Also, stick to the end of the video, where we will talk about 5 foods that may protect your heart from daily damage. 1. Smoking. Nicotine, the addictive substance in cigarettes, stimulates the body to release adrenaline. This surge in adrenaline increases heart rate and blood pressure, making the heart work harder than usual. Over time, this heightened state may strain the heart and blood vessels. Furthermore, the carbon monoxide in cigarette smoke reduces the amount of oxygen that your blood may carry. This forces the heart to work even harder to supply the body with the oxygen it needs, further increasing the risk of heart-related issues. Additionally, smoking induces changes in the blood, making it thicker and more prone to clotting. This increased clotting risk further elevates the potential for heart attacks, as blood clots may block the flow of blood to the heart or brain. Smoking contributes significantly to coronary heart disease, doubling the risk of fatal cardiovascular events. Women smokers are particularly at risk, facing a 25% higher risk than men. However, quitting smoking by age 40 may reduce the excess risk of death by 90%, underscoring the critical impact of smoking cessation on heart health. 2. Excessive salt intake. High blood pressure forces the heart to work harder to pump blood through the body, which may weaken the heart over time and contribute to the buildup of plaque in the arteries, a process known as atherosclerosis. This condition narrows and hardens the arteries, making it harder for blood to flow through them, further increasing blood pressure and straining the heart. When you consume too much salt, which is high in sodium, your body holds onto water to dilute this sodium. This extra stored water raises your blood pressure, a condition known as hypertension, which is a leading risk factor for heart disease and stroke. In observational studies, a systolic blood pressure increase of 2 to 3 millimeters per mercury for each 1 gram per day increment in estimated sodium excretion was generally reported. Potassium helps balance out the negative effects of sodium and may help lower blood pressure. Foods high in potassium include bananas, spinach, sweet potatoes, and avocados. Adults should aim to consume 4,700 milligrams of potassium per day, according to dietary guidelines. 3. Poor diet. An excessively poor diet, characterized by high intakes of processed foods, saturated fats, sugars, and refined carbohydrates while being low in essential nutrients, leads to the development of obesity, a major risk factor for heart disease. Excess body fat, particularly around the abdomen, may increase the body's resistance to insulin, leading to type 2 diabetes, which further heightens the risk of heart disease. The additional weight also forces the heart to work harder to pump blood throughout the body, leading to increased blood pressure and strain on the cardiovascular system. A study found that consuming more refined grains led to increases in waist size, blood pressure, fasting glucose, triglycerides, and insulin resistance, while decreasing HDL-C levels. Substituting white rice with brown rice for around 50 grams per day lowered the risk of type 2 diabetes by 16%. Additionally, a meta-analysis of 10 studies involving around 241,000 participants showed that high glycemic index and low diets increase the risk of coronary heart disease, especially in women. To mitigate these risks, incorporating foods rich in fiber, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants is crucial. Specifically, leafy green vegetables like spinach and kale, which are high in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, may be particularly beneficial. Aiming for at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day is a good guideline. 4. Physical inactivity. The heart, like any other muscle in the body, requires regular exercise to maintain its strength and efficiency. Without regular physical activity, the heart's ability to pump blood efficiently declines, leading to a host of cardiovascular problems, such as hypertension, obesity, and high cholesterol levels. When you're inactive, your body's ability to metabolize sugars and fats efficiently diminishes, leading to increased blood sugar levels and higher concentrations of unhealthy cholesterol in your bloodstream. These factors contribute to the development of plaque in your arteries, a condition known as atherosclerosis. The plaque narrows and hardens the arteries, making it harder for blood to flow through them and forcing the heart to pump harder. Recent studies, involving over 3 million subjects followed up for a median period of 12 years, concluded that achieving the WHO-recommended physical activity levels was associated with a 17% lower risk of cardiovascular events and a 23% lower risk of cardiovascular mortality. The WHO recommends that adults aged between 18 and 64 years engage in weekly training of at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity physical activity. 5. Overeating. Overeating, especially high-calorie, nutrient-poor foods, leads to weight gain and fat accumulation. This excess body fat, particularly when concentrated around the waist, increases the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. Fat cells, especially those accumulating in the abdominal area, are not merely inert stores of calories but actively release inflammatory substances and hormones that may contribute to heart disease. Furthermore, the consumption of excessive amounts of saturated fats, trans fats, and cholesterol from overeating may lead to increased levels of bad cholesterol, LDL, and lower levels of good cholesterol, HDL. This imbalance contributes to the buildup of plaques in the arteries, reducing blood flow and increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke. A study with 901 adults at risk for cardiovascular disease found that late-night overeating and consuming low-quality food after 7 p.m. were connected to signs of subclinical vascular damage, such as carotid artery plaques and an increased augmentation index, suggesting potential harm to vascular health. 6. Excessive alcohol consumption. Excessive alcohol consumption may significantly harm heart health. Alcohol may cause the blood vessels to constrict and harden, forcing the heart to pump harder to circulate blood throughout the body, which may lead to hypertension over time. Moreover, excessive alcohol intake may lead to cardiomyopathy, a condition where the heart muscle weakens and becomes less efficient at pumping blood. This inefficiency may result in heart failure and other serious cardiovascular problems. In a meta-analysis of 16 prospective studies involving more than 200,000 people, the relationship between alcohol consumption and hypertension risk was examined. In men, drinking less than 10 grams of alcohol per day and 11 to 20 grams per day slightly increased the risk of hypertension, while heavy drinking, which is about 31 to 40 grams per day and over 50 grams per day, significantly increased the risk. In women, drinking 21 to 30 grams per day and 31 to 40 grams per day significantly raised the risk of hypertension. 7. Poor sleep. Initially, poor sleep, particularly if it's chronic, disrupts the body's natural circadian rhythms, which are critical for maintaining metabolic health. This disruption may lead to an increase in blood pressure during the night, a time when the body typically expects it to lower, increasing the long-term risk of hypertension, a major risk factor for heart disease. A study involving 4,810 people aged 25 to 74 over 8 to 10 years found that those who slept 5 hours or less per night had a higher risk of developing hypertension, but only in the age group 32 to 59. Additionally, poor sleep may lead to weight gain and obesity due to hormonal imbalances. Lack of sleep affects the hormones that regulate hunger and satiety, ghrelin, which stimulates appetite, and leptin, which signals fullness. When sleep is disrupted, ghrelin levels increase while leptin levels decrease, leading to increased hunger and calorie intake, which may contribute to obesity and, subsequently, heart disease. Foods containing tryptophan, an amino acid that the body converts into the sleep hormone melatonin, may also promote better sleep. Examples include turkey, chicken, and milk. 8. Stress. When a person experiences stress, the body responds by releasing stress hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones prepare the body for the fight or flight response, increasing heart rate and blood pressure to prepare the body for action. While this response is beneficial in short-term, acute situations, chronic stress leads to prolonged elevation of these hormones, which may strain the heart, leading to hypertension and an increased risk of heart disease or stroke. Chronic stress also triggers an inflammatory response in the body. While inflammation is a natural part of the body's healing process, persistent stress keeps the body in a constant state of inflammation, which may contribute to the development and progression of atherosclerosis, the buildup of plaque in the arteries. This plaque buildup narrows the arteries and may lead to a heart attack or stroke. A study compared 117 heart patients to 110 others and found that stress from social isolation, marriage, work, or past trauma significantly increases heart disease risk. It suggests doctors should consider patients' mental health and offer counseling as part of heart care. Adopting stress reduction techniques such as regular physical activity, meditation, deep breathing exercises, and adequate sleep, in combination with a healthy diet, may provide a more comprehensive approach to managing stress and protecting heart health. 9. Snoring. Snoring may be a sign of underlying health issues that may affect heart health, particularly if it's associated with obstructive sleep apnea, OSA, a condition characterized by repeated interruptions in breathing during sleep. It happens when the soft tissues in the throat relax excessively during sleep, partially blocking the airway. As air passes through this narrow passage, the surrounding tissues vibrate, producing the sound of snoring. In more severe cases, the airway may become completely blocked, leading to apnea events where breathing stops momentarily. These frequent disruptions may significantly reduce the quality of sleep, putting the body into a state of stress. This results in elevated blood pressure and heart rate. Addressing the root cause of snoring, especially if it's related to sleep apnea, is crucial. Weight loss may be beneficial if snoring is linked to being overweight or obese, as excess weight may worsen snoring by increasing the amount of tissue in the throat. A balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains may support weight loss and overall heart health. 10. Excessive caffeine consumption. Excessive caffeine consumption may lead to several adverse effects on heart health, primarily due to caffeine's stimulatory effects on the nervous system. Upon entering the body, caffeine blocks the action of adenosine, a neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation and sleepiness. With adenosine's effects diminished, the body experiences increased arousal and alertness. This blockade also influences the release of other neurotransmitters such as adrenaline, the fight or flight hormone. The presence of elevated adrenaline levels in the bloodstream triggers a cascade of physiological responses. The heart rate accelerates and blood pressure rises. These changes are part of the body's natural response to stress, but when induced artificially by excessive caffeine intake, they may strain the heart and blood vessels. Over time, repeated elevations in heart rate and blood pressure may lead to chronic conditions such as hypertension and heart disease. The recommended daily consumption limit for caffeine for most adults is up to 400 milligrams, about 4 8-ounce cups of coffee, but individual tolerance varies. People with heart conditions or a high sensitivity to caffeine may need to consume less. Coffee consumption for females who are pregnant or planning to become pregnant should be limited to a moderate level that does not exceed 300 mg of caffeine per day. Now let's talk about 5 best foods to protect your heart. Diet plays a pivotal role in keeping your heart in good condition. We have mentioned 5 foods that you should add to your diet. 1. Leafy green vegetables. Spinach, kale, and other leafy greens are high in vitamin K, which helps protect arteries and promote proper blood clotting. They also contain high levels of dietary nitrates, which have been shown to reduce blood pressure, decrease arterial stiffness, and improve the function of cells lining the blood vessels. 2. Whole grains. Foods such as whole wheat, brown rice, oats, barley, and quinoa are good sources of fiber, particularly soluble fiber, which helps lower levels of bad LDL cholesterol and reduce the risk of heart disease. 3. Berries. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries are rich in important nutrients, including antioxidants such as anthocyanins, which protect against oxidative stress and inflammation that contribute to the development of heart disease. 4. Avocados. High in monounsaturated fats, avocados may help lower bad LDL cholesterol levels while raising good HDL cholesterol levels. They are also a rich source of potassium, which is important for blood pressure control. 5. Fatty fish and omega-3 rich foods. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, and other fatty fish are excellent sources of omega-3 fatty acids, known for significant heart health benefits including reducing inflammation, lowering blood pressure, and decreasing risk factors for heart disease. These 10 daily habits significantly impact your heart health. By identifying and modifying detrimental behaviors, you may improve your heart function and reduce the risk of heart disease. Remember, it's never too late to make heart-healthy changes to your lifestyle. Always consult your healthcare provider if you suspect a weak heart. Optimism and a positive attitude may lead to healthier lifestyle choices and protect heart health. Now that we have discussed the many habits that damage our hearts, let's dive into other topics of interest. Interested in knowing more about health secrets? Watch 12 bad daily habits that are destroying your kidneys. You may also try our video on what happens to your body when you have fatty liver disease. Go ahead, click one. Or, better yet, watch both and learn more about your body. How many of the earlier mentioned habits do you follow in your everyday life? Let us know in the comments below.